Alright, we did it. We made it. This is the last of the week 1 preview spoilers, which means in like a day or two I'm going to be recording the what I thought of week 2. First card we have is Summon Anima for black. There are 4 steps, but the first 3 are you draw a card and lose 1 life. The 4th one is each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and loses 3 life. It has menace and 4/4 also. Sweet card. Commander is loving it. It'll be great. Next up we have Phantom Train, another vehicle for us. Trample, sacrifice another artifact or creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. Becomes a spirit artifact creature in addition to its other types until end of turn. It's a 4/4. Next up we have Jet, Reluctant Guardian, 3 and a black. Menace, whenever Jet deals combat damage to a player you may exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. This is a 4/3 and becomes Braska's final Aeon. And that's a menace 7/7er right there. It has 3 steps. The first 2 are each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. And then the third one, each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, this is going to be a good card. If you pull it, for sure end up playing it, because I think it can be super powerful. Also, forcing your opponent to sacrifice 2 creatures, oh yuck, has a huge payoff if you can make it work. Undercity Dire Rat, 1 and a black. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. It's a 2/2 because every set needs a rat. That's a good theory to live by, right? Sephiroth's Intervention, 3 and a black. Destroy target creature, you gain 2 life. I think the you gain 2 life is what probably saves it. It's still pretty expensive just as a destroy effect, but I think it's alright for the most part. So there we go. Sephiroth's Intervention. Shambling Seath, so 2 and a black. This creature enters tapped. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. It's a 3/3. Little reanimator-ish effect. Not really. It doesn't go to the battlefield, but it does go back to your hand. Still could help. Shinra's Reinforcements for 2 and a black. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards and you gain 3 life. It's a 2/3. So can be good for those graveyard type of decks. Also gains you 3 life, so if you're playing a deck that might ping you, I think you're in a good spot. So yeah, alright, not bad, mildly playable. Evil Reawakened, 4 and a black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Abed Salvagers, 2 and a black. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's a 2/3. Yeah, I think it's another resource that you can use in like your aristocrat style decks. There is a card coming up that is super sick for your aristocrat style decks, but this one actually hits artifacts also. So yeah, run it in aristocrat decks in like a pre-release or a draft or something like that. It probably does the job too, but for sure. Vincent Valentine, 2 black. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters on Vincent Valentine equal to that creature's power. Whenever Vincent Valentine attacks, you may transform it. Starts out as a 2/2, becomes Gellian Beast and Trample Lifelink. When it dies, return it face up on the battlefield tapped. It's a 3/2. Card actually could be kind of insane, so I'm down. Deadly Embrace, 3 black. Destroy target creature an opponent controls, then draw a card for each creature that died this turn. It has its use cases. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to use it though. Seymour Flux, 4 and a black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 1 life. If you do, draw a card and put +1/+1 counter on it. And it's a 5/5. It's playable for sure. I like it a lot. The Mazu Trader, 3 and a black. When this creature enters, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, surveil 2, and it is a 3/4. Yeah, I think if you have instances limited wise where you can make it, you can sacrifice a creature that you're not worried about or artifact, great, works for you. Surveil is great for that graveyard recursion. In Commander, I think it has a ton of places that it can fit into. It is at the 4-drop slot, but I think there's a lot of payoff there that can actually work for you really well. Next one, Circle of Power, 3 and a black. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Wizards you control get +1/+0 and gain lifelink until end of turn. I think there were a bunch of white-black multicolored cards that cared about wizards. This card goes in there. Zodiark Umbral God for 5 black mana. Indestructible. When Zodiark enters, each player sacrifices half the non-god creatures they control of their choice rounded down. Whenever a player sacrifices another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Zodiark, 5/5. Yeah. I think there is a sweet sacrifice style deck here that if you can get it to work in limited style play, it'll be great. I don't think it's going to work in standard. I think that the deck as a whole doesn't work in Commander, but there are pieces that work in various other decks that are just going to be incredible. Xenos Ygalvis, 3 and a black. When they enter, choose a creature an opponent controls. Until end of turn, creatures other than Xenos and the chosen creature get -2/-2. When the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, transform Xenos, and it is a 4/4. When you transform it, you got Shinryu, Transcendent Rival, flying. As this creature transforms, choose an opponent. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. It's an 8/8. This is another one of those cards where I think it's really good in Commander, or it can be really good in Commander, but it isn't too great in Limited. Thinking about the flip side, yeah, it's sweet that you get an 8/8, but when your opponent loses in Limited style play, you win because it's a 1v1 format. So yeah, that's something to think about. Good card in Commander, not the best everywhere else necessarily. Summon Primal Odin for black for a 5/3, and we have 3 steps. First one, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Second one, this creature gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Third, draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Yeah. Yep. I think this card is going, like, if you pull it, you're playing it. Right? Now, Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. This is the aristocrat card I was talking about. For 2 and a black. First off, I'm going to say it right now. It gets played everywhere. It should be played everywhere. Just play it. That's fine. It's a great card. I think it's just really cool. Stuff dies. Cool. Great. But whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. It is a 3/3 and then becomes the One-Winged Angel. That's a 5/5 flying. As this creature transforms into Sephiroth, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's an emblem. Stays there forever. Nobody can take it away. Nobody can interact. And then whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. Sweet card. Sweet card. Play it. It's sick. Malboro. 4 black. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. Has swamp cycling for 2, and it's, I don't know, I think there's better things at a 6 slot that you can really do. You run it for swamp cycling, maybe? That's about it? Yeah, I think so. Kane, Treacherous Dragoon. So it has jump during your turn. Kane has flying. When Kane deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of Kane. If they do, you draw that many cards, create that many tapped treasure tokens, then lose that much life. Okay, and it's a 2/4. Another one of those cards where I think it has a place, but also like having a player gain control of your creature kind of rough, because then they could just, you know, use it as a blocker and never give it back to you. Yeah, I don't know. And here is the second part of that that meld card that we talked about back in green is Fang. So 2 and a black. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, you draw a card and lose 1 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's a 2/3, and then it melds with Vanille, and the bottom half of the card says Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Haste, and when Ragnarok dies, destroy target permanent and return target non-legendary permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It is a 7/6. Then the Darkness Crystal. Everybody has been talking about this card. It's 2 black. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead and you gain 2 life. Sweet. And 4 black. Tap and put target creature card exiled with Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. I think in Limited there is definitely a place where this can work. I'm worried that it's a little bit too slow. Commander, go crazy. And also, here's the art I'll show you that everybody is really looking for, really chasing after. Nice little art style there. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen, Bob. So 1 and a black, Dark Confidant. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put those cards into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. 2 and a 1. I think if you have insane lifelink, sure, it works. I don't think it's good enough for standard anymore. I think ripping one open out of a pack when you're doing like pre-release, sure, that might be fine if, you know, you have enough to compensate for the life loss. Commander, yeah, it fits in Commander decks. Yeah, it's Bob. Black Mage's Rod. 1 and a black. Job select. An equipped creature gets +1/+0 as whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, or this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and is a wizard in addition to other types, and equip 3. Card suite. It's built for Commander. I think it's fine in like faster formats. And finally, our last card, Arden the Usurper. 5 black. Demons you control have Menace, Lifelink, and Haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard. If you exile the card this way, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 5/5 black demon. And Arden is a 4/4. So I think that card could be real sweet. Commander, I think it works really well. Limited, I think it works really well for the most part. The issue that I have is it turns the demon into a 5/5. You're paying 8 for this. Does the 5/5 with Menace, Lifelink, and Haste really close out games? Probably not, but although the lifelink could just genuinely be good for you, if you have cards that create additional combat phases, the card becomes really good because then you can get 10 value out of it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. That is the black cards from week 1 previews, and like I said, in the next couple days I will be releasing a pre-release video going over everything, talking about what you're going to get in the pre-release kit, the type of decks that I think you could lean towards, and hopefully looking at just the solid bombs from the second week. Talk to you next time, everybody. See you soon, and good luck.